This short video clip has been recorded to assist you in understanding better Samsung's new product, Samsung Xchange. Samsung Xchange, there are three main parts to the software. The first being the dialing from virtually anywhere within your PC environment. The second is the presence window and call control, so basically visually being able to see what's happening over your telephone network and controlling that. And thirdly, integration with third-party CRMs and being able to pop those records based on the caller's call line identification. We'll firstly start with the dialing product, which allows you to virtually dial from anywhere. We're just going to go to our website here. We'll hop along to GTL Networks, and like most websites, people advertise their telephone numbers. And what you can see here is that the Samsung Xchange software has immediately underlined any telephone number that it sees. So if I just point and click on Chris's mobile number here, you can see a small window has popped up. It is now making that phone call out to the telephone number, and you can hear the phone number ringing on the cell phone now. And I can simply hang up on that call. Another area we can dial from is Microsoft Outlook contacts, very common area to store details of people's information. So I'm just going to go to Chris Salmon here. The first place we can dial from is by the telephone number itself. By putting your mouse in here, it will automatically insert a dial button for you, and we can click on that, and again, same procedure, taking your phone off hook on your desk and making that phone call to the recipient, and I can hang up on that. Another way to dial from Microsoft Outlook contacts is to use the telephone icon that's at the top of the page. We can simply click on that. It launches a start call option. Hit start call, and again, it's taking the telephone off hook and making a phone call to that person, and we'll simply hang up there as well. Other packages that we've been able to simply dial from, if we have a quick look here at very common database. If I bring that up, I've got a record here, has the telephone dial buttons ready to go. Point and click, again making that phone call to Chris Salmon on a cell phone. And as you can see, I'll just hang up on that straight away. The call has been made. This has been also proved very good application with CRMs that live in the cloud. Just going back to the internet now, you'll see that we have Salesforce, another common third-party CRM. Just looking at some recent telephone numbers that we've called. We'll go to Chris, that's my DDI. We'll go to voicemail, but again, point and click. It's taking the phone off hook. You can hear the phone in the background making the phone call being gone through. So that really is dialing from websites, dialing from third-party CRMs. We can also dial from MS documents. So, for example, here I might just go to my notepad. I have a telephone number here. Simply highlight that, right-click, copy. What that's done is launch the clipboard dialing balloon. We just click that button. Again, it's taking my phone off hook, and it's rang our main number here at GTL Networks, and I can hang up on it. Might be the fact that we find a telephone number within an email. So I'm just going to go to my Outlook, I'm going to my inbox, launch this email. Again, all I have to do is highlight that telephone number, right-click, copy. The balloon arrives in the bottom right-hand corner. Quick click, and again, it's taking the phone off hook, and we're ringing my cell phone. So very useful, and something that I believe that you would use on a daily basis. Now I'm going to show you how simple it is to pop a record from your third-party CRM. So I'm just going to put a telephone call into my extension. Obviously I am forwarding my CLI from my cell phone into the extension here. The phone will ring. It's identified as myself on the cell phone. And these icons here are just showing that I'm in three different databases. The first is the icon for Microsoft CRM. So by clicking that, I can bring up my record within CRM. That might be the fact that you're using Outlook contacts. We can bring up that record. And the third one here is Act. I will answer that call by hitting the answer button. And I'm now talking on that telephone call. But I suppose what I'm trying to point out here is how simple it is to pop a record. It's simply a point and click action. Once you're on that call, you then have the ability to put that call on hold. You can transfer the call with a consultation first, so obviously announcing the call, or simply transfer the call itself. I see this being a very good feature for people that are taking a call and asking the customer for their telephone number or their account number and then bring that record up. This gives you the ability to have the information of that caller and any records you've kept about that person before you take the call. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time now talking about the presence window and the desktop call control functionality that the product has. You'll notice here in the tray of my desktop a little green icon here. This is a very unintrusive icon which Samsung Xchange has, and by right-clicking on this I have further functionality. In this area here I can just click in and enter any telephone number from my keyboard and hit enter, and it will make a phone call. We also have recent calling, so this is just showing the last 10 calls that I made, and obviously I can just point and click to redial them. In effect, that's a redial button for the last 10 phone calls that I made. Here we have the availability, so this is where I can set, at this stage we have the three options, whether that I'm available in a meeting or out of the office, and this will appear on the presence window for other users to see, and we will come to the presence window shortly. Here is our address book, so just by clicking on the address book here, it's like a search engine that runs across multiple databases, so simply by putting my name in here and then hitting go or search, what that has done is search the entire databases that we have here at GTL Networks. This is the internal database of the Samsung Xchange product where it has found me. Also in our main database here, Microsoft CRM, it's found all the Chris's, so I can simply at any stage point and click on these telephone numbers. It also found the contact within Microsoft Outlook as well as ACT. So again, a really good little search engine for searching for people or searching for their telephone number. We also have the call history here. A little bit more detail than the recent call log. This is giving 50 records and it goes across 50 pages of information. It's just giving whether it's an outbound call or an inbound call. It does give the date and the time of the call. It gives a telephone number, and of course wherever you see a telephone number you can point and click to dial. If that caller is in our database, which most of these are, we can simply bring up the database by clicking on that. We also have the duration of the calls over here. We have whether it was an outbound or an inbound call, which is a double up of information from the left side of the screen. However, it does show whether the call was answered or whether the call was missed. So just some more useful information the product delivers to you. What I'll do now is I'll populate the presence window. So this is the presence window. This is working live, as you can see. I can tell that nobody is on the phone at the moment because everything is in green. An inbound call to that person will show flashing in red, and once they answer it will go solid red. The call on hold will be flashing in orange. It's giving their extension number, it's giving their name, and we have put these into departments. We've also got their user state, so coming back to where I showed you before where you set your availability. I'm currently in the demo room and I'm available, but if I wanted to change that, simply go into out of the office. What that's done to the presence window is put a little case here, a little business case here, as well as showing away. You can also change that settings from this area up top left, availability, available, and that's now brought me back to available. This voicemail column here, as you can see, most of them says off and one says on. What that actually means is off means they don't have any unlistened to voicemails in their voicemail box, and on means that they do. So as you can see myself upstairs, I've got a call forward to 539, which is voicemail, and I know I've got some unlistened to voicemail messages upstairs. The contact area here, this is showing if it was an outbound call, who you've rung. So if they're in your database, their name will appear here. If they're not, the telephone number. If it was an inbound call, we'll see an arrow coming into the extension, and it will show the telephone number or the person's name that has rung us. On the right here, we've got the message column. You can simply put whatever you wish here. So you can write in this area here what you're up to or what you want other users to see. So I can see right now that Charmaine is stock take. If we look at Chris, I'm working in the demo room on the Xchange release. In the demo room, it's got recording Xchange movie clip. And if you wanted to change that, you simply just rewrite in here. Going to lunch, hit enter, and that's now changed to going to lunch. I can see that Greg is writing the conference card release PowerPoint, and I can see that Frank is testing on the Orcon SIP trunks. There's other information that can appear on the screen. A simple right click gives you more options. I see a lot of these as being double ups. You can shape this however you wish. Just coming back to that message area, let's bring that section back. Coming back to the message area, it doesn't have to be information that you write. We do have the option also to sync that with your Outlook calendar, and whatever is in your Outlook calendar will appear here, which I think will be very useful for a lot of sites and will be the feature that probably gets this product over the line in a lot of cases. Okay, so I'm just going to make a call from here. Just just going to utilise Greg here, so a right click gives me the option to make a call. And what you're seeing here is an outbound call from the demo room to Greg. Hey Greg, just stand by for a second, I'm just doing a bit of testing. So we can see the outbound call from the demo room to Greg. You can see the inbound call to Greg, and it's just showing the demo room here. Greg, can you just hang up from this call shortly and just maybe make an outbound call to yourself on your cell phone, showing the database name come up, and then maybe just another random number, just showing the telephone number?
Sure.
Okay, cheers. So what we'll see here is Greg just hanging up now, so the call has ended. We're now seeing an outbound call from Greg. As soon as that starts ringing, it will show the name of the person that's ringing. So that's now Greg to Greg, and that's because he has rung his cell phone number. Hopefully he'll hang up shortly on that, and what he'll do is make a second call out, and that will be just to a random telephone number. The call has cleared down. He's now making a second call out, and that telephone number is just a random number. It's showing the phone number he's on, so that's great. What I'm going to do now is basically from my cell phone, I'm just ringing the office. What I'll do then is take 2 for sales, so I'll put this on speaker. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. So here's the call into GTL Networks. I'll dial 2 for sales. And what you'll see now is the extensions that ring on the sales in here. So that's going to ring on Chris's phone, Steve's phone, and Charmaine's phone. So the calls are all ringing in red. And as someone takes that call, hey Greg, Chris here, thanks for that. I'm just showing an inbound call and that you've answered it. Finally, I'm just going to show you how easy it is to transfer a call from the Samsung Xchange software. I'm just putting a call in now to this extension, so just bear with me. What you'll see shortly is a call coming in on the bottom right hand side. So here comes the call now. I can simply answer that call. Options I have now obviously is to pop the database of this caller if I want to, but you've already been shown how to do that. Then I could simply transfer the call by hitting this button here and entering a telephone number. If I want to transfer a call to someone in my presence window, I'm just going to transfer to Greg. I can click on that. Simple right click gives me options here to transfer the call or transfer the call to consultation first. So I'm simply just going to transfer that call. It's now gone off to Greg, and I'm just going back to my cell phone. As you can see, it's there ringing. Hey Greg, how are you? Cool. I just realised they can't hear us talking, but as you can see, the call has been answered on the presence window. Thanks, Greg. So hopefully this short video here, or short video, 10-minute video, has allowed you to give you a better understanding of how the product works, how it may benefit you in assisting getting some sales on the Samsung Office Serve range. And yeah, so thanks for your time, and yeah, hopefully that was very worthwhile for you. Cheers.